Welcome, Smite fans, to the Smite World Championship Grand Finals. These teams have been on an incredibly difficult journey, and it's all ending now. In just a few moments, the two best Smite teams in the world will be competing for the first place prize of $1.3 million. And introducing your teams now. From Europe, the team that surprised us all, making their way through the Challenger Cup, making their way through the wildcard event, and winning the European Regionals. Guys, give it up for Titan!
Titan, a team that came through the wildcard process in Europe, a little bit of that kind of fly-by-night team that kind of just get it all together and make it happen through teamwork, where individual skill doesn't pull them through.
Overall, like, game plan for going into this round was pretty damn solid. We just picked early gods, tried to invade everything, and just hammered it down like piece by piece.
Can't wait to meet either of the cognitive teams. They're very good teams, and I think we have a shot.
Our team's biggest advantage was me. Seriously, I think our biggest advantage going into the SK games was we had a lot of practice against them during the week. So we kind of knew what they were going to pick, and we put a lot of time into our draft against them. So I feel our biggest advantage was our draft strategy, and we knew what they were going to pick, and it worked out. My name's Nate. In game I go by Anorexia, and I'm the hunter player for Titan.
My name is Kevin. I play for Team Titan, and my in-game name is Con.
Emil, pretty prime, Titan.
Everyone give it up one last time for Titan! And now, your second team, the hometown favorites and the most tenured team in the SWC. Guys, give it up for Cognitive Prime!
Starting with Prime as the #2 seed overall in North America, you're looking at a team that, generally speaking, relies a lot on their dual lane hunter, especially Barracuda.
Going into the grand finals tomorrow is one of the greatest feelings I've ever felt in my entire life. I could not be more proud of my team. We're all playing on the top of our game, and I think tomorrow we're going to easily 3-0 Titan because we're the best team here.
I think what gave our team the advantage against Cognitive Red was that we've scrimmed them almost exclusively for about 6 months now, if not more, and we just know exactly how each other plays.
Our biggest challenge is losing to ourselves. I think if we play at 100%, we are the best players in our roles. The only thing that can stop us from winning is ourselves making stupid mistakes. I'm very confident that my team's going to win the grand finals. I don't see any possible way my team could lose.
My name is Rosario Velarde, my in-game name is Jeff Hinla, and I play for Cognitive Prime.
My name is John Salter. My in-game name is Barracuda, and I'm the hunter for Cognitive Prime.
My name is Brett Feli. My in-game name is MLC Stealth, and I'm the middle lane for Cognitive Prime.
Give Cognitive Prime one last time, everyone. Let's hear it up for them. Before we bring these two teams up on stage, we're going to take a look at the shining moments of the SWC. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for your players. Let's hear it up for them. From Titan, the solo laner, Confrey. Your jungler from Titan, Repikas. Give it up for your mid laner, Pretty Prime. The support player from Titan, Kanye Life. And your hunter, Ataraxia. Now introducing the players from Cognitive Prime, your solo laner, Omegatron. Your jungler, Andenster. Give it up for your mid laner, MLC Stealth. Your support player, Jeff the Sex Hidla. And finally, everyone, give it up for your hunter, Barracuda. All right, captains, please step forward. Now, gentlemen, you know the difference between first and second place is $800,000. So there is a lot on the line. Is there any last words you have for your opponent?
Best of luck.
And to you?
Good luck.
All right, gentlemen, please shake hands and go to your stations, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the grand finals are about to go underway, but I just have one more question for all of you. Who's ready for some Smite?
That was cute.
What the?
All right, folks, welcome back to the Alienware Analyst Desk. Of course, I'm Golden Boy, joined by Dry Bear, Trig Esports' very own Simstar, and the one and only with the gorgeous hair, Allied from Complexity. Folks, we are going to break things down as the picks and bans are about to begin here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just joining us for the first time and you're curious about Smite Esports, well, no better place to start than right here at the Smite World Championships, because you're going to see some of the best Smite play. Well, you might just see some of the best video game play, period, from these guys. I am so excited for this matchup. And like Kelly said, Driver, and there you hear that motivation.
1, 2, 3, Titan.
Like Kelly said, $800,000 separates first and second.
I mean, we're talking about 1.3 million for first, just over 500,000 for second, and $800,000 is not the winnings. That's the difference in the two. That is mind-blowing. And we're talking about, okay, third and fourth, they got 391,000, 260,000. No, 1.3 million goes to a single team of 5 guys playing Smite up on stage. Now is the time to really get into Smite. We're talking about a best-of-5 series, though, so this is going to be a huge lineup for them. And we talked about it all day. We saw them walk in. They felt the crowd. They high-fived along the way. They got to get ready to get their game faces on. And Titan, again, is going to be the one to look at here to see what they can do in the picks and bans.
That's right. Allied, what are your thoughts in regards to Titan now? We saw them walk out of the smoke, by the way, which was awesome. Feeling real confident as well, which I like. Which you need to have. You need to have that level of swagger coming into this kind of a matchup. It's necessary, because if you don't, there's no reason why you should be up there. Allied, your thoughts for Titan here? All eyes are on them. Prime, we know what they're capable of. Titan, still a question mark. What do you think?
I think Titan, they look absolutely fabulous and ready. I think this is it. If they're able to take down SK with that adaptation, they should easily be able to adapt to this, because Cognitive Prime generally plays the same team comps, be able to adapt and conquer.
how do you break them out of that team comp? You said Cognitive Prime likes to play the same team composition.
They have general compositions that they like to go for. I mean, it even said on Jeff Hendela's profile page, he's only played 3 supports during the whole SPL season. So you're looking at generally the same god pool for most of them. I think Barracuda, he played actually a lot of hunters, but obviously they're all hunters. Soul lane is generally a tanky bruiser. Mid is going to be like one of MLC Stealth's famous mid picks, and
Here we go, folks.
go from there.
This is it. Give it up for these boys. First picks and bans.
Wow.
Yes.
This is a best of 5, guys. This is game 1. There goes the Kanye Life and Mir off the table. Respect has been given. Will we see the Sylvanas, Jeff the Sex Hinla respect ban in response? I imagine that we would, just because there it is. The 2 supports being banned out. That's how you know this is a top tier team lineup. You can't just go, oh, that's a strong jungler. There's
Titan,
but wow.
Titan just gave away either Socket or Thor.
Oh.
Whoa. And you said either Circuit or Thor. They gave up both. Here, potentially.
Osiris. Osiris is available.
That's right.
That is actually the smartest thing they could have done. With Circuit and Thor open, they're both guaranteed one or the other. I think Cognitive Prime is comfortable with letting both go through and pick up the #1 solo laner currently.
All right, well, we'll see what Titans pick's going to be. You can see the boys talking to one another, figuring out what they want to do here as they're hovering over. This could be a lock. Let's see. Athena and Circuit get picked up.
That's strange, because I almost expected a Replicas Athena in the jungle until Circuit was locked in as well. So I'm really curious to see what Titan's going to do here, and I think just because of that, it may be a little bit different. Circuit doesn't really function anywhere else but jungle, but Athena, a great pickup here. There goes Thor and Geb locked in immediately. This is such a powerhouse 3 first picks.
How does this look here, Zimp? Let's go to you. How does this look for Cognitive Prime on their side?
Already,
3 great picks.
I mean, they're already beefy. They're beefy. I mean, Osiris Geb, like, how are you going to kill Osiris, man? He's going to be tanky. He's going to be in your face. You have a Geb shielding him every now and then when he needs to get out. And I don't know. Already, right here, depending on what Titan picks up, I feel like Prime might have an edge during this draft.
Titan's going to need Shred. Shred, or they're going to have to match that. I wouldn't be surprised if a Bakasura got picked up, but I don't know if Comfrey is up to the task at hand, and it looks like Comfrey is trying to pick up Chalk solo before it's banned out, and that's the second best in line, can go toe-to-toe with Osiris in lane. Circuit is going to really have to pop off. All eyes on Replicas for this matchup.
Where's that Vulcan ban is what I'm wondering. I mean, I almost expected Pre-Prime to pick up that Vulcan against MLC Stealth. They already have 1 targeted ban against him, that Scylla going away. And you mentioned it earlier, Zimstar, EU doesn't really play all that much Scylla, so it's kind of unfamiliar to them as far as going against it. So gonna remove that off the table. There's the Poseidon. So again, 2 targeted bans against MLC Stealth this time around.
They're really fearing him. He was such a factor as well in that Cog Red matchup that I could totally see that being the case here. They know what Stealth can bring to the table, so they have to be cautious of it. Let's see what Cog Prime's going to do. Okay.
Rom.
They're going to get rid of the Rom.
You just get that Vulcan. I mean, he brings so much late game damage to the table, a lot of disruption. He's able to really just get the burst in. Oh no, okay. This was, again, the Dignitas strategy. We know MLC Stealth plays a decent Nox and practicing it for a while. We'll see if Pretty Prime was just trying to take that away.
You can tell that Titan has done their homework, and their picking right now is outstanding. This will be a really close game. However, Cognitive Prime, with the ban out on Rama, I think they're trying to bait Ataraxia into his Apollo pick, because Apollo doesn't scale as well as Rama mid to late game, and you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna need a lot of shred for their team comp. Apollo doesn't bring the same type of shred than Rama would.
Chung Kui. Oh, lock that in. That is an honor
It's such a beefy lineup, man. I mean, I love this from Prime. And you have the Geb shield on his Zong, Thor Osiris.
Chung Kui's locked in. What's going to be the last pick?
It's going to be Apollo.
How do you kill Cognitive Prime's team comp?
It's not AFC, it's going to be Apollo. There it is.
And there you have it, folks. It's going to be Apollo. Everyone in the house, be as loud as you can. Make some noise. Let's throw it over to the casters for game number 1 of the Smite World Championships. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commentary desk for a best-of-5 finals. It's Titan versus Cognitive Prime. My name is hi-rez Bart. Joining me on the desk, the one and only DM Brandon, to bring you this best-of-5. First to 3 wins it, and it's $1.3 million as half of the $2.6 million prize pool going to the victors today.
This is basically an $800,000 money match.
Yes, it is indeed. You got a best of 5 on your hands here. All things told on the rosters here. Brandon, walk me through this draft, a little bit non-conventional with an Osiris first pick.
Honestly, I can walk you through Matty Pocket walking me through the draft 30, 40 minutes ago. He predicted all 4 of the first bans. He predicted all 5 of the first picks. It was absolutely incredible. Know that Prime is coming into this with a plan, but Cirquette's on the board. You can predict a punch as much as you want, but if it's thrown fast enough, you're still getting hit.
That's absolutely right. And also looking at some other synergy on the side of Titan, they do have Repicos' ultimate on the Circuette to set up a lot for them. Nox, obviously a very dominant mage style shutdown. And then you have that Shock plus Athena ultimate combination that's very, very difficult to stop. It's basically impossible to stop it from doing some damage and securing at least a 3-man silence.
We're going to be getting into game 1 in just a second here. Remember, guys, best of 5 finals. This separates $800,000. First point, it's $1.3 million for Smite.
Let's go ahead and take a look into the game here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and introduce your teams. It looks like we will have an early game pause coming out, so we'll have some time to talk through this. But first things first, they are the blue team, fighting on the left side of the minimap, having a jump party in the mid lane with their opponents Titan.
Turn up for your champions.
They're here from North America. It's Cognitive Gaming. Amnitster in the jungle is Thor. Jeff Hindla matching up with Barracuda on the dual lane. Geb and On Her. MLC Stealth as the Zhonghui in the mid lane. And Omegatron in the solo as Osiris. Their opponents today fighting with the red trunks out of the top side of the minimap and the right side of your spectator UI. They are the champions of Europe. It's Titan. Repicos in the jungle as Cirquette. Kanye Life matches up with Ataraxia as the dual lane Athena and Apollo. Confrey in the solo with Chalk. And that leaves Pretty Prime in the mid lane as Nox.
You gotta love the early sportsmanship coming out from both teams. They know they've made it this far. There's the first seed Monster who have constantly been upset time after time, LAN after LAN. No matter how well they perform, they're always the Cinderella of it, or rather the bridesmaid of it. As opposed to the Cinderella story of the Challenger Cup. They were defeated in the play-ins. They were, defeated almost in the kickoff.
Yeah.
So close. And then eventually we get to regionals and they lost. The game was over.
Yes.
They lost. It was done. It was 2-0 for Cloud9, the freest set I've seen probably of the top teams that have played since the SPL has started. And then out of nowhere, the brakes got hit, and now they're at Worlds.
Yeah, Cloud9 drops that game. Titan goes on to be the European representative here at the World Championship of Smite. And well, Brandon, taking a look at the early item pickups, we have 3 Hand of the Gods coming out on the side of Titan. Talk me through this a little bit.
So what's going to happen here is, generally speaking, if there's 3 hands, you're going to see some type of aggression. You can use the secondary hand, most likely the solo laner, to force away a hand at the mid camps. Now, if there's only 1 Hand of the Gods on the right side of the map coming out from the order side, in this case going to be Cognitive Prime, they either have to hand the mid camps or lose them, and then they still can't invade because it's hand to hand. It's still a gamble. In this case, right now in the beginning, Titan's going to have a major advantage.
That being said, Omega doesn't seem to have any items yet on that Osiris. There could still be another hand coming out.
Very true.
It's actually nearly a lock that you're going to see 3 Hand of the Gods on both sides. For those of you that are new viewers to Smite, the Hand of the Gods is an item that does do 480 true damage to neutral minions. It allows you to clear jungle camps extra fast, basically, as well as some shenanigans in the lane, like insta-killing creeps to get yourself an early level 5, get the ultimate online. Look for that kind of dynamic in the early stages.
So we're going to see the Runeforge Hammer come out here from Confrey. This is going to give him a lot of tankiness in the lane. Wants to be able to sustain as long as possible. Osiris going to have generally more damage and a slight bit more clear in the very beginning. Later on, the clear is definitely going to belong to the Thunderstrike coming out from Confrey. Mid lane dynamic is huge here because MLC Stealth, Zhonghui is one of the strongest laners because he can clear the way very easily, he can heal off it, but every time he moves forward, he's going to take damage from Nox. She's going to brutalize him.
Yeah, Pretty Prime playing the Nox. Nox a very harass-oriented mage. She looks to control the lane, especially early. That's where she gets her advantage. In the first 4 levels, if MLC Stealth is able to get out of this one with most of his HP intact, it's going to be a fairly reasonable laning phase for the Zhonghui. Shouldn't have too much trouble here. And as we've seen throughout this tournament, MLC Stealth has taken gods like Scylla and other kind of non-top tier mid laners, mostly because of their lack of clear, and been very successful at getting through the early game on the back of his jungler.
That's true. I mean, Andy has been an incredible force throughout these games. We have not seen the famed Landenster at all.
No.
Every time that we have seen him play, he has been a driving force in every single win, and they've gotten to finals with it.
driving force indeed, but no driving strike in this matchup, no Hercules.
Yes, I don't know why. I mean, he has not lost yet, to my knowledge. Of the top 4 teams, he has dominated every game he's been in.
Let's talk a little bit about Titan's path here to the finals. They look to be the weaker of the higher seeded teams in the earlier stages of the tournament. They had a tough game against OMG and a tough game against the Brazilian team of We Love Bacon. But now coming in, they were able to take down SK, the overwhelming favorite in that matchup. What happened there? Like, why were they able to turn on the gas against SK?
Okay, so it's actually a pretty good mix here. They didn't actually want to take Kali against SK, talking about the Titan boys, and SK still thought they were going to play Kali. And Repicas says, I mean, they're here because of Kali. They're
Absolutely,
at Worlds
no question.
because of Kali's quadra kill in the Cloud9 game. Absolutely, no questions asked. So Zero's thinking that they need to not give Repi Kali, they take it away, and Zero's, as we've seen, was not a super proficient Kali player. I would have loved to see them just let it through and Zero's play his game. Honestly, talking about SK, there were definitely some mishaps, none of which, in my opinion, were on the fault of Badger. He was the weak link of the top 4 teams, period, to me, coming in. Similarly to how in the kickoff I thought it was Devios, but now, I mean, Devios is obviously one of the strongest, if not the strongest on COG Red. Same thing to SK. Badger came in as my bottom pick, but he definitely left us the top.
So taking a look at our duo lane, where we think a lot of the action is going to come out as play does resume in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing with us. All things told here, it's going to be the Geb on her going up against the Athena and Apollo. 2 more standard lanes you won't find in Smite.
I love how Andy has left already. He's like, no, I'm not doing this.
No more jumping.
That's my boy.
To be clear here, Omegatron did go for the Death Skull and the Hand of the God start. And look at his potion itemization. 4 green, 2 purple pots. The purple pots give you both HP and mana, although at a reduced rate. But what you're looking at here is if you use your HP pot as well as your mix pot, it does give you 1.5 times the normal HP 5 that you would get out of the green pot. So it will allow him to make some very, very aggressive trades if he's looking for that in the early stages.
15 health on a character who's already pretty tanky inherently is going to be very, very strong. Death Toll is going to be really big for lane clear, so expect a lot of aggression coming out from Omega in the early game. He normally likes to be tanky, and as you can see, Comfrey probably expected that as well, but no, we are going to see the clear push. Starting off, we are going to see the normal meta start, except for Barracuda and Jeff Hinlaw on the bottom, once again opting for the speed buff.
They've done this now in 4 games. This seems to be, you know, as you're saying, the meta start. And generally speaking, normally this is the blue buff clear out of the duo lane, but they're starting to take this orange buff more and more often because it was such a liability over here on the order side of the map. It was always getting invaded, so they're just going to go ahead and pick that up. Let's take a look at the right side, though, as the solo laners and junglers go to war here, and the Berserker Barrage doing a lot of damage to Confrey, but at the end of the day, he is a chalk. He can clear cast, and he brings HP.
The war is going to get brutal, too, and Comfrey recognizes the fact that Omega took his blue buff.
Right, yeah. And he's going to, well, the one thing is that they do have a Chalk, and Chalk is one of the better gods that's suited at dealing with a solo lane without a blue buff.
That's true.
Every 5 hits, his passive activates. 5 successful in-hands from the Chalk. Giving him a free cast of his next ability. Mid lane here, you can see just how this matchup goes. MLC Stealth sitting at just over a couple hundred health now as Nox continues to harass him.
You know, what's interesting to me is Nox was heavily unfavored by a lot of players, and that was always very confusing to both the casters and the general Smite viewer base with how strong he is. It should be noted that the only 2 players to play Nox this weekend, at least to my knowledge, are the 2 players sitting in front of you.
And looking at Pretty Prime's build here, this is a very, very all-in style of build. What's going on is he has a Vampiric Shroud as well as building into an early Warlock Sash, but let's hold that thought is in the mid lane. Repicas is set up, but he's spotted out. No, he's just putting a ward down. He's going to be A-okay. So back to kind of the Nox here. She doesn't have any potions. She has no additional sustain in this lane. And so, as you can see, she's already running low on mana, and she's going to have to go back relatively soon, where on the other side, Zhonghui continues to heal himself up.
It should be also pointed out that Pretty Prom is point saving at level 4, meaning he has not taken Consume. He is going to activate his 3rd level into Siphon Darkness, and then obviously put a point into Night Terror as well, going for pure damage.
Yeah, the ultimate is a very, very big thing to look for on this Nox. Right side lane, Comfrey's going to eat some harass, and well, you can see that Osiris is starting to bully him in this lane. Red buff on the top left side of your minimap being picked up right now by Titan. Just behind them is Cognitive Prime picking up the red buff of their own on the bottom side of your minimap. And continuing on to clear the back camps. A little bit more XP efficient was Titan here in this last exchange, but Zhonghui should have a pretty good time in this lane, as we mentioned, with his superior mana pool now.
I was expecting right there for Comfrey to back into by teleport, and he didn't, so expect that we're not going to see a teleport coming out of Comfrey this game. This could be beads, though unlikely. It could be a shell if Jeff Hinla, or rather if Kanye Life decides he's going to go into something different. I'm not sure. As for the experience, it looks like he's going to miss a little bit of experience in goal, but nothing to cripple him.
Omega also not picking up that early teleport on his first back, so you're right, we may not be seeing much teleport coming out this game, but a kill in the early laning stage will definitely set up the need for that item. This is an item that has a very, very long cooldown. It sits in your second active slot, and it allows you to teleport to towers and later teleport to wards as you level it up. But the mid camps are respawning here. Brandon, left side is going to be contested by Cognitive Prime, and it looks like they're going to secure that one easy peasy. Right side, no, hold that thought. Jumping in a little bit is Repicos there, but he thinks better of it moving back. MLC Stealth, was that the ultimate?
That is definitely Recall Demons. That's going to hurt him a lot in the backside. They're going to find Pretty Prime finds a triple ultimate. He's going to go for it here. He has to dodge more. Finally, Ataraxia shows up in the back line. Pretty Prime's getting low. First blood not giving up. Finally goes to Andy, but immediately answered back. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far as they're turning on to MLC Stealth.
If he only had the ultimate here, he could do so much damage, but they may be able to find Repicos nonetheless. There's the card, it's gonna be enough. Here's Kanye Life, he's in some trouble. MLC Stealth with a double kill. One more hit on Kanye Life, there it is!
4-1 at the 4-minute mark. A huge fight on the Invade. Cognitive Gaming takes a 2,000 gold lead somehow in the immediate early game, and you gotta know Comfrey, who wasn't available for that one, is really feeling the pressure to carry the game now.
Omega wanders over to the mid lane and picks up the right side mid camps as well. Both of those secured by Cognitive Gaming, helping make that swing even bigger. And now he's sitting on a pretty decent lane advantage over the Chalk. He's gonna pull ahead by a full level.
That's true. We're starting to see some respawns here. We're at the 4-minute mark. Both speed buffs going to be taken. See bottom side getting 3-man, top side getting 2-man. Comfrey not going to see a part of that. Kanye, is he going to 3? Yes, they are going to 3-man the blue buff as well. I think they're really trying to be as safe as possible here.
Pretty Prime with the Dream ultimate there, catching 3 deep in his own jungle. But if you notice, what happened is Ataraxia came crashing down with that ultimate from the Apollo, which put them into a knock-up state, which meant that stun was suffering from diminishing returns, and they weren't able to follow it up. They could have had that 3-man stun from the knock followed up by a taunt from the Athena, maybe found some damage, but look at the mid lane. Speaking of damage, in a bit of trouble here is MLC Stealth, a lot of trouble in fact, and he gets picked up by Pretty Prime.
Did you see the superhero explosion, turn around, walk away? I love it. I love it.
He knew that one was secured, and he goes back to continue his safety and farm, knowing that Analyst is on the roam with that ultimate back up on the Thor.
So 4-2 right now. Titans still at a pretty decent disadvantage, about 1,700 gold in the hole at only 5 minutes. But that's a number that can be easily remedied by grabbing a Gold Fury. And as we start getting towards that Gold Fury phase, it's more possible. But we are seeing an invade on the top side. Kanye Life probably not in too much trouble, but he does say take some poke.
Yeah, the harass being thrown out there by Anderson, just trying to maybe set up a later kill. Find himself in a bit of trouble here. It's Jeff, and he's not going to have any healing available. That's a free kill onto Jeff Himla.
Was he lost?
I guess he wasn't respecting the Circuit ultimate, holding him in place and allowing him to set up that CC chain and all the damage. Also, the Audacity was active from Apollo there, adding to the kills.
You know, and that Circuit ultimate not only secured the kill, but it also stopped him from being able to rotate away or having his team rotate in, because if they went anywhere near him, when that explodes, if you're affected by Last Breath when you die, the poison spreads to nearby targets, and that's just ridiculous true damage.
And he's going to put out a bit of harass on a Pretty Prime and stop the back in the mid lane here for the Nox. Left side mid camp is up, and once again, it's going to go to Cognitive.
So I'm checking out Andy here. He is opting into the Berserker Barrage start. He's going into the jungle. Repicos just used Hand of the Gods.
He's going to run into 2. Oh, he was off time with his hand, and the taunt comes through. They're going to be able to get that. He's going to go ahead and use the Berserker Barrage as well to put some damage out onto Repicos. Nice damage coming through on the backside, and only if Jeff Himla had that Cataclysm still available there, they may have been able to make a play.
That's true, but they do wind up dropping the Invade Andy, not taking any damage for it. They're going to rotate over towards the right camps, and it doesn't look like Reppy could really defend this one.
Yeah, that red buff, no, they're going to allow Pretty Prime to actually snake out and go pick up his red buff. I thought MLC Stealth might play forward there and prevent that rotation, but Pretty Prime will have the benefit of his damage buff now moving back to the lane.
Topside, Ataraxia stuck underneath his tower comparatively to Barracuda, who is just kind of keeping him locked down. I mean, Addy is sitting under half. Barra getting a free back.
The lanes are being won, however, by Cognitive Gaming here. 760 XP a minute on the Zhonghui, 690 on the Osiris, the top 2 in the game by quite a big margin.
Gold Fury might be started here. Ataraxia dives over with the ultimate. They're going to sniff this one out. Ataraxia just took a lot of damage, and they don't wind up gaining anything from it. Nice rotation out coming from Himla, and Andy's onto Reppy.
Yeah, they're going to try to put damage. Oh, he stuns him out during the dash, but
don't worry, it's
Circuit, she has a few of those, and she's going to get out A-OK there. The Athena ultimate being channeled as well. Maybe not needed there, potentially a bit of a misplay. It does save, of course, Cirquette's life, but now they don't have that available for this Gold Fury contest. Barracuda taking it up in the shifting sands as well. Gold Fury starting to drop. She's sitting now at about 50% HP. Now down to 45, 40%, 39, almost an execute range. And here it is. They're going to be able to take this Gold Fury. Cognitive Gaming, they don't have a Hawk 3. Where's the contest? Doesn't matter. Cog Prime, Gold Fury #1. And now Kanye Light, he's eating a lot of damage from the Zhonghui. The Nox ultimate doesn't matter. It's a kill.
I don't know why Pretty Prime was just watching that. That would have been a great opportunity. Jeff Inlaw, again, not in a great spot. Gonna blow up, almost guaranteed. Rebnicon is dead. He's done. Goodbye.
MLC stealth.
And Jeff's alive. Again, Pretty Prime watching his team. He's low on mana. He didn't get in there early enough, and his team pays for it.
Look at Omega.
Oh, the huge
Omega, the
cross
god, in between the 2 and the 1. Cutting the creeps and forcing Confree into a very, very awkward position now. And he's doing this because the camps are coming back up.
Is he going to see
Such
it?
timer discipline.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to go for it. He sees that it might have respawned. He's kind of waffling on his decision. He needs to pick. I don't think he realizes he's standing directly on a ward.
Yeah, he definitely had an opportunity there. Blue buff comes back up, and he does have that timer. But it looks like Titan's going to be able to secure their top side buff.
Omega had the hand of the gods, too. That's a drop steal. Granted, he doesn't have that information. Still, rough Cognitive Gaming with a pretty good lead here. Almost 4,000 gold, which is pretty strong at this stage in the game.
Player damage owned by Nox right now, 4,500 dealt. Right behind her is the Thor, sitting at 3,500 delta players. But once again, going back to that XP lead, now ahead, 100 XP a minute is the Osiris over the Chalk.
All right, so in the mid lane, Pretty Prime gonna consume the return shot coming out from Mr. Analyst there. Mid lane, MLC Stealth getting jumped on. Reppy taking a lot of damage there, forced away. Pretty Prime doesn't have his shield up for a few more seconds. I'm very surprised if we didn't see him in.
Oh, the card barely missing.
He couldn't teleport there. Andy didn't have an escape. Bazooka Barrage wouldn't have confirmed the kill. It was on cooldown, so it was very smart and very patient of him to be able to stick that one out.
Yeah, and MLC Stealth's card just off the mark to secure that kill for them. Taking a look at this Zhonghui, just once again affirming for me that MLC Stealth is the best player in this tournament playing today.
This guy has been a constant force for his team throughout the entire tournament. I don't think there's a single doubt in anyone's mind that if COG manages to take the finals, that MLC is going to be the MVP.
Absolutely.
Something dramatic would have to happen.
A dominant Zhonghui play here now, sitting at a very robust 4-1 through the early game, 6,000 gold farm, but not to be outdone by the Thor with the highest net worth in the game. Andenster, an absolute monster right now at 6,300 net worth, 2-0-2 on the slash mark, and he's going to have a Jotun's Wrath up and coming here, maybe around the 12-minute mark, as early as that. No, he's going to have it earlier than that. He's going to have it here at about 11 minutes with 1,300 gold in hand.
He's trying. Wait. Oh, there he goes. I see. Okay, so he's going to have a lot of damage going forward, but for me, I'm still looking at Reppy. He's 3 levels down right now, which is going to hurt him. Looking at the gold, 1,300 down as well, but it's still Cirquette. If he gets to the end game.
He could be in a bit of trouble here. No, he's forced to dash out, and they're going to use the Athena ultimate as well. Barracuda's put himself into a bit of an awkward position, but it doesn't look like Titan want to aggress this as MLC Stealth turns the corner. They're going to zone it out. It's a free red buff.
You can't fight Zhonghui in this situation. Pretty Prime is just too far behind. During the picking phase, Bart actually called the Zhonghui pick. I didn't think it was going to be it. I thought he was going to go Agni, but Bart was right, and MLC was very clearly right, as he has a dominant early game.
Barracuda being bailed up by Jeff Hilla, who ports forward and eats the taunt. Rebekos gets exploded by the ultimate combination. Cataclysm and the Anvil of Dawn. Kanye Life stunned out underneath this tower, but not enough HP yet to dive. Baron in a bit of trouble. Will we see Adder actually use the ultimate here and try to secure this?
I don't think he's got it in him.
I don't think he does.
Look at the bait. Look at Barracuda saying, please come try this.
Yeah, it's once again, his name is Nate, not Steve. He's going to leave that one go.
Right side, Omegatron and Confree continuing their slapbox match. I really don't expect either one of these to drop anytime soon. They're extremely tanky. Both have a decent amount of damage, but it's going to be hard for them to confirm kills.
Stealth, is that a kill and a Pretty Prime? It is indeed, once again, taking down the Nox.
That card, man, it's no joke.
What does she do about that?
She tries to consume one tick of like 45 damage.
She can offset some of the damage there, but at the damage over time ability, very, very effective against the Nox. And all things told, she's not powerful enough and won't be until very, very late game to contest this Zhonghui in just raw damage output. And likely as well is that Rebekos can't do much to bail him out here with the Cirquette. HP pool is just not big enough to deal with the recall demons.
You know, and there was so much healing in the early stages of the game. There's not really all that much healing now. Omegatron can shut down healing himself for any type of lifesteal. And while, of course, Zhonghui does have some healing, it's going to defeat the purpose of having that Cirquette ult for the healing reduction. So it's going to be hard for them to form a strategy around it. And considering Rebekos is still level 9, you got to expect that they're going to keep that bully and keep her shut down.
Minion kills also belong on the side of Cognitive Gaming. Over 100 CS for the top 3 farmers in the game, and all of them belong to Cog.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, man. Omega at 120 right now. Barra 115. MLC 113, though he has about 95 more to fill up that Warlock Sash.
Yeah, that's where you see they farmed, the Nox has farmed 63 last hit so far this game and needs another 95 for her Warlock Sash. I mean, it's going to take some time.
So, you know, we talk about Nox and we talk about how strong she is. People always ask, like, how do you deal with this? People with dot damage are your best friends. Analyst right now can rip off our shield almost instantaneously using Berserker Barrage. He can also stop it with the first hit of Mjolnir's Attunement, allowing the secondary hit, which does the real damage, to land. MLC Stealth, of course, has the card as well, which is continuous damage. Oh, Comfrey going in.
Yeah, he's going to silence. Here's that ultimate combination with the Athena as well, but getting out with the beads and Mjolnir's Attunement is Andy dodging the damage. MLC Stealth is positioned very far forward in this fight, and when the Recall Demons comes out, it's going to be a big problem. Kanye Life, you're done, son. MLC Stealth and Analyst combined for a kill with Jeff Hindla on to the support yet again. Gold Fury is going to start being contested here if they find more kills onto this Athena.
I don't think it's going to be contested. I think it's going down. They have 18 seconds without Kanye right now, which is going to be more than enough for them to blow this up. Jeff Hindla going to have that hand 3 online. This is a guaranteed 1,500 unless Pretty Prime finds some absurd play, but I just don't see him going for it.
Gold Fury down now to 50%, falling rapidly down to 45, 40. It's going to get an XP range any moment now, and there it is. Boom! Gold Fury is gone. Cognitive Gaming will take a commanding lead of the early game. 10,000 experience and 6,700 gold in their favor.
You know, a lot of the casters and a lot of the analysts agreed that SK Gaming was going to have this type of presence against Titan, and they didn't. But it looks like that might have been a Kryptonite situation. They need to find an answer right now, because if we see all 3 games like this, we're going to have a very short set.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this one comes down to the picks and the bans, as you mentioned. Talking to the manager of Cognitive Prime, they knew. They had all 5 of those picks and all 4 of those bans figured out to that stage, and they look like they were very, very prepared for this setup. The Zhang Kui, I don't think Titan was expecting this pick to come out, and they don't really have an answer for him.
So right now, looking over in the mid lane, there's a curious 3-man grouping coming out from Pretty Prime, Kanye Life, and Repikas. And brutally...
They look shook, Brandon.
Yeah, brutally. Analyst, MLC, and Jeff walk back up to that red buff, and they know they're going to take it. They're trying to bait the fight.
Yeah, Titan looks shook here. I mean, they're grouping as 3. They want to farm their jungle in clusters just to be safe. And well, it's Cognitive Gaming taking it. Right side lane, though, we may have Osiris going in for the dive. Comfrey, no, it's going to hold him out. Back at the red buff.
Ataraxia goes in. Jeff Hindla gets a 4-man cat of the dream.
Analyst's taking it to the sky here. They will pick up the kill on MLC Stealth, but at what cost? Pretty Prime starting to take damage from the Berserker Barrage, and yes, one more hand secures it. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far of the mid laners. Trying to dash through his Ataraxia, but he's going to get stunned out a bit by the pillar. Kind of an awkward dash, but they don't have to follow up underneath the tier 1 tower. Ataraxia will live.
A 1-for-1 trade right there. Only Pretty Prime going down thanks to Repikas' ultimate, which actually spreads to Jeff Hindla. They don't have to follow up, of course. MLC does get picked off. But that was a trade definitely in favor of Titan. Not only was MLC worth more gold, but he had a much longer respawn.
Left side mid camps coming up, are up right now. Right side not for some time, and it's going to be Cog Prime once again. I feel like they've taken 7 of 8 of these mid camps so far.
It feels like it. It's got to be something very similar to that at best.
Mid lane now, just continue to aggress his Anderson, finding a lot of farm around the map. In fact, he continues to be the top farm player, top kills, top gold, top damage, all in favor of Thor.
So Barracuda going in for some real damage on the tower. Again, locking Ataraxia down, though both are level 15. Gold's pretty similar. Right side again, Comfrey getting pushed away. Omega has just had him unlocked. Chalk was a very curious pick to me. So early in the game, Bart, talked about how there was no way that they were going to ban that. It was a very early pick. I don't know why. I guess they were waiting to pick Nox where she couldn't be counterpicked as much, but Thor was already on the table.
It's just a low value pick. You're not getting 3rd pick potential out of this Chalk right now in the game. Right? He's not dominating his lane. You know, when you look at what was picked 3rd on the side of Cognitive in the On Her Geb, that On Her or that Geb both have had a lot of game impact so far, where Chalk has fallen short.
I was expecting maybe a Hercules into a Baka ban and then into the Nox pick. That would have been super strong. But left side, Barracuda going to take some damage, low on mana. Jump going to be on cooldown, and Ataraxia smartly going to rotate out as Jeff Hindla rotates in.
And it's there, feints like he's going to go to the left side lane and comes and counterwards yet again. Pretty Prime just can't get safe in this lane.
He's trying. He's spending a lot of money, and it's just not going to be worth it.
Yeah, he just has no recourse now. He's dropped a lot of money to Sentries and kind of is forced to stay this way. He is very, very weak against these heavy CC-based initiators like Thor.
We're going to have a huge pincer here. Andy in some trouble. Can't cast too many abilities without taking too much damage. Might be out. Speed buff looks like going to go down in favor of red.
But that's a lot used to secure a speed buff. That's the Nox ultimate, big part of their team fight control. And they're going to initiate on Omega. Don't you know, don't fight the tank here. As MLC stealths in the backline, Jeff Hinla moving forward and push off the marker. Titan, they're in some trouble.
They are pushed away. The speed buff basically going to be used to get Reppy out of base faster because he's forced to heal once again.
Yeah, although Titan does secure their buff, they lose their blue buff on the right side as well, and they're going to lose their right side mid camps. Still, advantage Cogs.
Major advantage Cog. 6 kills separate the two teams, and yet there's a 7,400 gold difference with no towers down. That's incredible farming. That means the CS is significantly higher. They get the first tower right there, but you're talking about buff invades. You're talking about pressure and stripping away gold and experience by sending people back. It's not always about the kills. It's about how much experience and gold you can gain over your opponent.
With that tier 1 going down in the mid lane, that puts Thor over 10,000 net worth, the first one to break the 5-digit mark in this game, pre-20 minutes. And once again, just leaving the right side solo lane, Omegatron proxy farming between the two towers. He's getting a lot of free damage on this tier 1 right.
Andy almost has 3,000 gold by himself over Reppy. That is incredible. At this stage of the game, at this stage of play, the fact that Andy was able to do this and on land nonetheless.
Right. Gold Fury back up about 3 seconds here. Left side camps will be taken by Titan, finally finding a mid camp for themselves, but it's a little too late right now for them. An extra 150 XP is not going to take them out of the deficit they found themselves in now.
Comfrey rotating here, not sure what he's looking for. A little bit curious as he walked through the jungle. I expected him to go for the check on the blue. Had he thrown the axe, it would have been secure, but he didn't go for it. He goes all the way from bottom side jungle to top side small camps. Shouldn't miss anything too relevant here. With a ward coming down from Omega, he'll spot him coming back in.
Look at this sentry ward just off the left side of the mid lane near where the tier 1 was for Titan. Has been warded and counter warded now by both teams 4 times.
That's why we call it the hotspot.
It is the hotspot.
The hotspot. That's where the ward goes. That's like, this is the most gank potential right there. Of course, barring the fact that Thor can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that choke coming into the Gold Fury from the red side of the map is a great place to have the vision because it just allows you to see if they're trying to flank your Gold Fury attempt. At this stage in the game, as you can see, Barracuda is perfectly capable of soloing the Gold Fury, and with some help from MLC Stealth and the zoning, they push Replicos all the way back to the tier 2, have Andy and Omega, and this is another free Gold Fury on the side of Cognitive Prime.
This, to me, is why your God pool must include Sylvanas and must include Geb. It feels to me that Kanye Life is suffering because his wacky God pool is not paying off. They know to be afraid of the Ymir. It seems they ban the Ymir out. They know they're going to pick Athena, so they go right for it. They let him do it, and they pick Geb right into it. And Geb versus Athena, this is like a pretty free matchup.
Kanye gets stunned out, and the knockout coming through as well, but it's a taunt onto 2. Jeff Hinla maybe taking a spill here as Analyst is going to have to bail, but Barracuda's coming in. Oh no, Andy's going to take this guy. They're fighting this one.
Jeff almost down here. One more shot going to do it. Can he get behind Stealth? No, Ataraxia does find the kill.
And Andy goes deep under tower for Replicos there instead of looking maybe for Ataraxia as a bit more of a likely candidate, but yeah, he's not making it out of this one alive. Anister does fall back. MLC Stealth gets quite low there, but they trade the Hunters in that. Well, no, I'm sorry. They trade the Guardian for the Hunter, and well, the level 18 Ataraxia worth quite a bit more than the level 15 Geb.
Indeed. The 1-for-1 trade, not great. Right side, Comfrey manages to push Omega all the way back to his tower, and now we'll have a clean rotation, albeit a bit late.
Oh, no. Osiris is 100 gold away from finishing Chin Size right now.
Oh.
He's heading back.
Wait, he's going back now? Is he selling something?
No, he just went over. He got 1850 after clearing that last wave, and here we go. Chin Size online, 21 minutes, 20 seconds for Osiris.
Oh, that's dangerous. Now he's going to be doing not only
tier 1 left.
A ridiculous amount of damage, but that's AoE damage as part of his auto attack chain. Of course, single target, AoE, AoE, and a cone in front of him. So they should definitely be afraid. I mean, he has such an insane amount of inherent tankiness that having this Chin Size online is going to make him incredibly strong.
For those of you just joining us, this is game number 1 in a best-of-5 finals between Cognitive Gaming and Titan. Cognitive represents North America. Titan represents Europe. It's 11-5 at 22 minutes, and Cognitive Gaming has held this game from the onset right in their palm and have been dominating Titan so far. And now with the Chin Size online on the Osiris, if you are not familiar with Smite, this item gives percentage damage as magic damage for every in-hand, and you can see just how fast tanks like Confrey will melt. High HP pulls do not help you here. Can they continue initiating in on this? It doesn't look like they can. The Nox ultimate a little bit too powerful here. Cog forced back. You can see the stuns coming out, and it's a full-on retreat. They're going to look maybe for the tier 1 before they fall back, though, as a consolation prize.
That's right. I mean, it's 4v2. There's no way they're going to get pushed out too hard. I think they still could go for it. I don't know if we're going to see them push back. Repicos is low here, but it seems that Omegatron is backing.
Yeah, he's...
Wow, they're going to back off.
They're going to let that tier 1 go. I mean, it's a high-risk, low-reward play. They had stalled out long enough. Yeah, it should have been free. You're right. Left side lane got a bit of a 100 going on, Brandon.
Uncharacteristic patience coming out from all lanes except for Barracuda. Desert Fury finds Captain Ataraxia and sends him back to the base for a clean 55 seconds.
Barracuda going to pick up the blue buff as well. He's going to leap over the wall here, and he's going to continue farming as he is just an absolute beast so far in this game, sitting on 1,000 gold in hand, nearly 700 XP per minute, and farming at the top with the rest of his team. 11,000 net worth, 800 on her, 11,900 on Osiris, 1,200 on Thor.
Confrey right now getting chased down by 2, using sprint to try to get away here. Omegatron not finding the slow he needed. Him and Jeff will back off, and it looks like Confrey will live to fight another day.
Repicos, wow, will find the kill on the Barracuda with that ultimate there, and down goes the on her, but he got a lot before that death. However, he gives a lot of experience, and much needed experience to Repicos with that kill. He's able to take down the level 20 Hunter from Cognitive Prime.
That's right. I mean, like I said before, you can expect to pick as much as you want. Eventually, if she throws it fast enough, you're going to feel the pain. Repicos is low, sure, but I mean, there's no threat here. She'll be able to back, she'll be able to heal up, though she is going to most likely lose her red buff for it, and he's got this one.
Andy, yeah, he'll take this red buff down. A couple more in-hands, dragging it away from that Nox damage. And, well, Andy has secured the red buff. MLC Stealth doesn't even look like he wants to pick it up. They're just going to leave that one on the ground, happy with their spoils.
I mean, why not? Take the golden experience away. Strip away the damage from Nox. Stripping away damage from Nox is probably way more important than Zhonghui gaining damage.
Right, fair enough. He's perfectly happy just being at the tanky presence in the fights. He has big AoE CC, and he's able to bring it. Right side mid camps are up. No contention just yet as Cognitive continues to search for kills.
We are getting to the late game kind of, so they're not, I think, as relevant, but to see them sit for this long is strange from any team.
Left side looks like the tier 1 going to take quite a bit of damage as Barracuda makes his way back to the lane, and Cognitive has rallied once again to the right side to find this tier 1, and they will take it down easily for themselves. Cognitive Gaming continues to take objectives around the map. Gold over 10,000 in their favor. XP 16,500 now for Cognitive Prime.
Andy is very, very close to hitting level 20, albeit the extra damage onto Anvil of Dawn is not something that's like super relevant. Him hitting max level isn't like a massive improvement to the character outright, but I'm sure it'll help, but he is right close to it. 20s on the side of Titan only. Confrey at Araxia 19. Repicos way far behind at 16, and Pretty Prime still 3 levels away herself at level 17.
Left side, Barracuda in a bit of trouble. He's going to leap out of this one for now. Ataraxia moves forward. Go find the Mez. No, it was just off a target.
Wow.
Deb Shield coming out to purge that. And Barracuda's going to survive that gank pretty easily, not having to blow too many big cooldowns for that one.
We're going to see a 5-man grouping from both teams here as the Gold Fury respawns. This is very, very dangerous right now for Cognitive. Should they try to defend or aggress onto the Gold Fury and throw for this gold, this could spell Fire Giant, it could be Phoenixes, but check out my man Barracuda right now. Do you see what he's doing? He just filled his health up from under half.
Yep,
and now he's just hanging out.
Hitting Gold Fury at leash and continuing to farm that, and also doing it while not looking in that direction. What a player, what a game.
Gold looks like, or rather Vision, going to be in favor of Cog as Barra starts it up.
Moving forward, MLC Stealth looking for some damage out onto the weaker mages and that Circuit in the mid lane, but Titan just forced to fall back anytime Cognitive wants to aggress. They just control the pace of this game so heavily.
Oh, going right in. Kanye finds a pretty cute taunt onto Stealth to avoid him from paying the toll. It looks like Kanye is going to be pushed back, activating a shell that's not going to affect too much. Ataraxia is going to take a lot of damage, and Barracuda is going to finish up the Gold Fury for free.
Yeah, he just continues to farm this down, and it's going to be an easy kill for them. Cognitive Prime flex their muscles. Titan falls back. Gold Fury, number 3 to Cognitive Prime. Number 4, I'm sorry, to Cognitive Prime.
Wow, it's been 4. All right, so Confrey gonna jump forward. He's trying to defend here. The tier 2 really not taking all that much damage. He brings in Athena as well. Kanye taking damage. Andy getting very low, and a big silence coming out from Confrey. Diving deep. Reppy's trying to do something, but he's stunned out. He's in a lot of trouble. Can he find it? Oh, Barracuda.
Barracuda saves the day there and does get that kill before Circuit goes down, but Osiris is in the front lines here, and how do you stop Omegatron when he's this farmed? He just finds the kill, and there's not much they can do about that one. Barracuda will continue to aggress into the tier 2 mid, and they find that as well. Phoenix exposed in the mid lane at 27 minutes.
And again, you know, every fight has been so clean and the teamwork has been incredible, but I'm still keeping my eyes so direly on MLC Stealth, who is clearly the breakout this weekend. He has had almost no misplays. The plays that he has made completely have turned games around for his team. He's been level 20. He somehow got out of the early game with 200 health, healing himself back up and finding a 3-man push. I mean, the guy is incredible today.
He's been out here, he's been having money, he's been having fun, and he's been stacking HP. Warlock Sash, Height of the Urchin online, 27 minutes, Obsidian Shard on its way, and this Rada Tahuti is about 7 to 8 minutes away, it looks like right now, and that's when things are going to get just basically impossible for Titan.
I really like the fact that he's going into penetration here. I mean, that's going to give him so much pressure in the mid game. It's going to give him, or rather the end game, it's going to give him so much damage. And that's what that's going to do is, of course, they're looking for kills, but you don't need kills to win games. The Fire Giant fight with that giant AoE, Recall Demons auto-targeting people, there's no way to actually battle him. They must bait the ultimate out on the Titan side. And if they do, and the Fire Giant isn't down by that point, they might have a reinitiation opportunity. But Rebikos just can't afford to sit and recall demons. It's just not possible.
Yeah, the Circuit becomes a non-issue at this point. With all the damage coming up from that recall demons, if she's anywhere near, she's just going to go down.
Oh, left side again. Ataraxia in some trouble here. Stunned out.
Oh, the block!
They got him.
Dirty stuff.
Completely blocking him in. The pillar actually locking him into a small circle. MLC comes over to ensure it goes off. Jeff Hinlow rotating towards the right side. I think they're getting ready to set up for FG.
Yeah, well, no, it looks like to me that Titan wants to stop this push from a Megatron. They're going to try to make a play here, and Jeff Hinlow is going to be there to bail it out. But Rashad mid lane here, and Insert gets caught out by the Circuit. Unable to find enough damage to get that kill, and that's the Circuit ultimate down. Andy a free trip back to base, and he can rally no problem with that Anvil of Dawn.
But with that, you know, it does give them a little bit more room to work. Ataraxia, not up for 25, sure, but does have a global ultimate to get him to lane, or rather the fight, very, very quickly. So it's not like they have too big of a disadvantage in that regard, but their disadvantage is extremely prevalent as we're seeing a 14,000 gold lead and a 22,000 experience lead, still relevant since only 2 people, Confree and Ataraxia, are level 20 on the side of Titan.
Pretty Prime Beads are down, and you can bet they're looking for the initiation. Anderson takes to the sky, and he's looking for the Nox. He doesn't find her, but they will find Confree. The chin side just ripping through what there is of Chalk remaining, and now falling back and forced to defend there. Phoenix, Shell already spent, no beads available either, except for on the Circuit. This is going to be a very, very difficult. Oh, Ganyule stunned out. Ganyule Cataclysm. They're going to take down the Athena. This is going to set up Fire Giant.
This is too much. I don't think they even need FG at this point. I mean, they could just push for the Phoenix and then take another one. Look at Omegatron going all the way up to their fountain. First Phoenix of the game, 30 minutes, gonna fall.
Wow, okay, so now with the significant map advantage, and this is what's going to happen, is that Cognitive Prime's going to be able to set up a situation in which we've seen it a few times so far in this tournament. They can set up a line of wards basically in the jungle for Titan and just have knowledge of all of their movements. And Titan will be forced to spend a lot of gold to counter that vision, or will have to deal with it. Either way, it puts them further behind.
So I'm looking at Confree here, I'm looking at the Chalk, and one thing I love about Confree is his ability to adapt to gods that are in his god pool. I mean, being real here, there was no Osiris in his god pool before this weekend. I watched him practice it. I saw him mess a lot, just mess up a ton in scrims, but he brought it out this weekend, and he's done very well with it. But with that, Chalk definitely was in his god pool, but I mean, like you said, this is not a value pick. He's not bringing much to the table. I mean, he's 0-1-1 right now. He's been a part of 1 of the 7 kills. Granted, he's also 1 of the 7 kills. So I'm very surprised to see him go into this warrior fight. It looks like there could have been just a better mage pick for him, and I think I would have preferred that, because despite the fact that he's tanking up a lot, there's just not much he's bringing to the table.
Well, the team fight from Titan should be really overwhelming with the double silence from the Nox and the Chalk, both of them very, very large AoEs, and the execution has been there a couple times, but they just got too far behind in the hole. Fire Giant gets stuck in by Cognitive. They've zoned out Titan very, very well here. Atarax is in the sky.
All right, we're going to see going up there, and he tries to land down. Ataraxia's touch is still in the air, but that's a kill for my main man, Barracuda.
Barracuda does find Kanye life, and the tank falls yet again. Fire Giant buff active, Desert Fury as they move forward. Omegatron 5-3 with the Psycho Crusher, and a lot of trouble are Titan. They may be losing the game here. No, they're able to save their poor Circuit before she goes down. 3 members remaining. They got to hold out 5, tier 2 falling, and Cognitive has fully zoned them away. I mean, they took that Fire Giant with not even a hint of contention.
But there are Scorpions on my tie, and I'm feeling a little foolish. I should have had hammers.
Yeah, that's right. Mjolnir superior to the small bug, even though this thing is vicious. It's a infinitely powerful and heavy hammer. So, and in Surge continues to zone out as Confrey and Replicas look for the angle. Pretty Prime has to move forward to make this have any kind of flank potential. But Confrey just gets stunned out. Replicas in a lot of trouble as well. The chains are out onto Confrey. He's stunned in, and the second stun coming through. There's an Athena ultimate on top of him. It's going to stop some of the damage, but the Titan is starting to take some damage from these fire creeps streaming in, and Cognitive Prime has put themselves in a great position to win this one.
I'm very surprised to see them back and not just push in. Still 10 seconds before Ataraxia comes up, and it looks like Barracuda's going to head back to the base here as MLC Stealth goes to fight in. They just lost their Hunter here.
Yeah, and well, Titan recognizing that, they're pushing forward, trying to force the fight, but they just can't. I mean, taking too much of his HP already as Confrey. Single hits from Osiris are starting to really hurt.
So Bear goes into the jungle. He's doing small camps at 33 minutes at level 20, so I'm a little perturbed. But the speed buff, that's something I want to see. This is where the Hunter should generally be grabbing this.
Yeah, I think that the team is calling for recalls and they need to itemize up, so he's going to go ahead and accelerate his farm the best he can. Still hasn't finished off his big crit item, as you can see, sitting on just that short, but does have the Executioner chin size, that Zappicorn build.
I was just about to say it.
Completed.
It looks like the Zappicorn build has had just a better effect overall than Unicorn. Shoutouts to, of course, Zapman of Team Dignitas coming up with this build and just showing the dominance that it can have. I mean, you're coming on so fast with the extra attack speed, and then your end game presence is huge with the short sword going eventually into the Rage.
For those of you that are a little bit confused about the ridiculous names we have for these builds, the Unicorn build, not sure, well, I know why it's called that, but it's basically attack speed stacking instead of stacking crit, which was
penetration
for Smite for a very, very long time. Instead, it's a build that stacks attack speed and flat pen, so you hit more often for true damage, basically. Chin size factoring into that very heavily with a percentage proc, as well as AC usually seen, as well as a Witchblade or an Executioner to stack more attack speed. The variant that we see here onto the On Her from Barracuda includes crit and a Titan phase.
Titan goes right in. Kanye plays a 4-man push there with the taunt. Andy not giving up here, throwing deep. It looks like they're going to just try to clean up the mid. Oh, no, they're going to leave the mid lane. Phoenix to left side. Comfrey gets picked off. Andy goes up into the air to just cover all available defensive options. Dives right in with the creeps. All 3 Phoenixes down, and Titans on their heels.
Replicas goes in. Kanye Life on top of him, but the Geb is their target. He's going to look for the Cataclysm any moment. No, I'm sorry. It's already been used. No ultimates available for Cognitive Prime. They dive to well. Omegatron taking up the Titan. MLC Stealth in the front lines as well. Kanye Life activates the shell, and that's going to force Cognitive Prime out of the base for the moment at least. But the mid Phoenix taken again. Left side taken for the first time. Fire Minion streaming in. Titans got their work cut out for them.
They're going for it again. Replicas forced away. Kanye Life very low as well. We're going to see Ataraxia go back and heal. Reppy trying to bait out as long as possible, but he's slowed. And with that jungler down, things aren't looking too good. Eyes on Pretty Prime doing some damage to the back line. Kanye Life tanking it up, and it looks like first
30%,
game
20%,
going to
0%.
America.
The Chaos Titan falling in favor of Cognitive Prime. They take a 1-0 advantage here in this best of 5 series to determine the best team in the world for Smite. And ladies and gentlemen, we had a pretty amazing game there.
So what I'm thinking here is there needs to be a 100% turnaround. That cannot be the same strategy for Titan going in, or they're going to pay for it. Matty Pocket, the Oracle, predicted every single thing that was going to happen.
Yeah, and well, they kind of out-researched the researchers. It seems like, right? Like Titan is known for the team that does a lot of research. They build this big codex of all of the picks and bans. They really have a good understanding of what they value, what works for their team, and they got outmathed by Matty Pocket.
That's what it is. That's game 1, guys. I think we're going to be checking in with Golden Boy.
Yeah, let's toss it back over to Golden Boy and Dry Bear, guys. Tell us how this went. Break it down for us, guys, and have a lovely time doing it. Bye-bye.
Oh, it sounded like Bart was just like, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, single tier. All right, well, you know, of course, we'll see, you know, Bart and DM Brandon again. Really excited about that. You know, these guys been absolutely killing it, you know, in the caster booth. But, yeah, fellas, let's go ahead and break this down. By the way, if you're just joining us here, Cog Prime is going to take the first matchup of the Smite World Championship, powered by Cursed Voice. I'm joined by Dry Bear, also Allied, and Zimstar here. Allied from Complexity, Zimstar from Trig Esports. Again, just a reminder, in case you're just joining us, let's break this down. Let's talk about what happened here, and more importantly, let's talk about that first blood that had occurred.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Logitech first blood, and this was a 5-kill streak. I mean, it began with the first blood. Cog Prime ended up picking that up, but watch how this turns around just after level 5, 3.5 minutes in the game. The dunk was real here, but beautiful play by Hinland to keep him locked down. Pretty Prime buying a lot of time. There goes the dunk for Ataraxia. The hammer's going to come through, and he will finish off Pretty Prime here just for the first blood, but it continues onward. It's 1-0, but big damage coming down on the back. You're going to find that Athena's a good block, but not yet good enough. Anderster going to come back into this fight. One more hit. Actually, I love the fact that the card from Exposed Evil was on Repicos there. He knew it was going to be enough. He backed away from that fight, let him die off on his own, and turned the attention to the Athena and made sure that they actually turned that conversion from a 1-0 into a 4-1.
Yeah, Ally, what are your thoughts in regards to Cog Prime in this matchup? Obviously, they look great. One thing that I want to point out too, mid-game, Bart said MLC Stealth is the best player in this tournament today. Do you feel that?
Yes. Sorry. Absolutely.
It's okay. He had you choked up. I totally understand it.
So, MLC Stealth played absolutely lights out. And honestly, I think the common theme here is MLC Stealth's decision-making, rotation, and mid-play is by far, I think he's the best mid laner in the world. There's no one else that can compare up to him. He's been a powerhouse all tournament long, especially with his skill of play, which is a good first ban, honestly, by Titan. I expect to see more skill of ban. The targets should be on MLC Stealth, 100%. You can't just ban everything from him. Just take everything away.
Let's not forget, though, Anister lived in that mid lane, and he helped MLC get going. I mean, he played the Thor amazingly. Those ganks were just mechanically perfectly well executed, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, it really goes to show that these teams have to understand what their assets are at any time in the game, but your gamer launch player of the game is indeed Anderster on that Thor play, 11.0. Now, we spent a lot of time talking about Thorgar, some Cognitive Red, the third place team in this tournament, but we don't give enough credit to Andrew Anderster Woodward there on Thor. That play was phenomenal, and he drove. He was the vessel for that first blood and the exchange thereafter, right? And good support from Jeff Hinland to keep him alive, keeping that heavy hammer swinging with that passive, and got into a 4-kill streak.
Mechanically, I mean, I'm just really impressed. I mean, his beats were like, previous Athena taunts, stunned Apollo mid dash when he dunked down, just like then offensive beats to get like his stun up again. Ridiculous.
Now, here's the thing with Cognitive Prime. It's very obvious they are a well-oiled machine. Coming into this, they go usually the same strategies, but it works every single time, and they're really hard for teams to adapt to. However, Titan has proven time and time again they can adapt to any situation and come back. They have the comeback factor on their side, being, coming from the wild cards all the way to the finals right now. So game 2, I think in drafting phase, they're just gonna have to draft a little bit differently. I love the respect bans with Skilla. However, I think they could have gotten away with leaving Sylvanas open. Now, see, here's the thing with the drafting phase. They got a lot of information out of the first pick coming out of Cognitive Prime. Osiris is on an extremely high value over Serket. That's one piece of information given to them. I'm hoping they can take that and either turn around to an Osiris ban or maybe even bait into another pick so they can get something else.
I agree with you, and it's something I want to point out here real quick. It's clearly evident that it almost, well, for me, it seems clear. Titan's attempt here was they were like, it's a best of 5, so we could throw this game away in case of anything. Now, I don't know, and not necessarily throw it away, but if a loss came here, it wasn't really a big deal because you have to think, right? Like, you have a best of 5, so you have at least 2 more games to work with. You said it best. They got to get a feel for them. They have that feel for them now. I'm expecting a different process in the picks and bans, Driver.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that you mentioned it right. The first game is a throwaway, but we're actually going to be throwing away some stuff on stage for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's toss it over to Kelly and give away some stuff at the venue.
That's so awkward.
And that was a lot of really cool stuff there.
Kelly looked amazing up there.
We gave away some air. The oxygen was fresh and clean.
Guys, free air for everyone.
Some nitrogen was in there. Some carbon was in there.
That's right.
Probably some floating particles, some dust maybe.
Smite World Championship 2016, sponsored by Air.
All
Shout
right,
out.
well, now that we've done that, we just wanted to see our pretty faces again. Let's throw it away to Kelly for free thanks.
Hey guys, you like free things? All right, everyone. What I'm giving away is a PC set up by Curse Voice. We are going to pick a random card in here, and they are going to contact you through email or phone, whatever you registered up for. And I'm going to pick it up right now. All right, everyone. Are you ready? Oh, come on. Are you ready? All right, man. First name Ian, your number is 01038. Wait, actually? All right, man. Well, that's it. Let's go back to the analysts.
Welcome
so wait a
back.
minute. So a guy just won a $5,000 Alienware computer and didn't claim it? Did I get that right?
You know,
that's what I heard.
I can claim it
told
for
me.
him.
You know, it's
Free air for everyone.
I got nothing on that because
Air.
wow.
You get air. You get air. You get air. We all get air.
That was Alien Air.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
dude.
welcome back to the Alien Air Analyst Desk.
Smooth as butter.
Boom!
Like
That's
butter.
it. All right,
well,
guys. Welcome back. Now,
Let's
we just
break
had
this
a
down.
fantastic game one, Cognitive Prime up against Titan. And Titan, I said this in the pre-show, I'm going to say it again. Titan is a team of comebacks and analytics. I guaranteed myself that they were not going to be able to take game one, and for the very reason that they wanted to see Cog Prime and react. They're a reactionary team. They're not proactive. And so they've seen Cog Prime. If they're going to take game two, they have a chance.
Now, coming from the fighting game scene, and DM Brennan would agree with me with this. Usually in a long series games, generally game one is lost by most competitive players because it's just more of a download effect. It's like, all right, I see what they do now, I see what you do, and then game two they turn it on. All right, well now you can't do it anymore. So I'm hoping to see some sort of same reaction out of Titan and hope to see them adapt because clearly in the first game the biggest problem was Cognitive Prime just drafted a better set of picks. They had a clearly better team comp, really tanky, really in your face, a lot of early game aggression, and it was well balanced out to mid to late game.
Zim?
I think I had hopes for Europe, but I mean, Prime just picked them apart, man.
But how do you feel though about what I said before we threw it to Kelly for the free air, and also what Driver said earlier, like that Titan had to feel out Prime. How do you feel about that?
I just feel like.
Do you think that we're maybe just over-analyzing that, and Prime got?
I think we might be. It feels like I want to believe it because I want Titan to win because I've known him for a long time. But honestly, how can you? I mean, I don't even know. Like, what can I do at this point? It just felt like raw mechanical outplay all over the board, and I have a feeling Titan. Sorry, I love you guys, but you're about to get crushed.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay. Bold words.
I mean, unless. Okay, so if they pick up the second game, figure out what Prime did, what went wrong, then they have a chance. But this second game, I mean, it's crucial. If they don't win this game, they're done.
Don't disagree, Allied.
My call is if Titan isn't able to adapt into game two, going in there and draft it like way better and looked really strong in game two, I think it's going to be a 3-0. However, if Titan is able to overcome the Cognitive Prime, adapt extremely well, it's going to be a close series, something of which I cannot call.
We have been doubting Titan since they started in the Challenger Cup. And I think it's fair to say that if we're going to do it now, we should do it with an asterisk down below. This team has a knack for coming back in the clutch and showing what they're made of up against the most astounding odds. And I think that Titan, I think you're right. Game two is going to be their crucible. They have to be able to prove themselves in game two and say, we can come back against game one. I think game one was their test They want to see what Cog Prime does. And again, I mentioned it earlier, you know, SK only scrimmed Titan. Cognitive Prime only scrimmed Cog Red. And this is proving to be more of a crutch than they anticipated. Obviously, you hide your strategies, but I think that we're really showing the breadth and depth of Smite is so vast that if you can contain yourself like that, you're just living in a box. You have to be able to open yourself up and say, we want to know what's out there, what can be picked, and how to counter it. Look at this map control right now, 62% to 38%. This is probably the least close game we've seen today. Even the consolation match was there. Look at the power, pretty even. Speed, I think a lot closer than I expected. 69 to 31 is pretty close. The back harpy's there. But the mid camps is probably the most telling story here. 78% to 22% on both sides. Both mid camps about the same. That's gold lost.
Yeah, you can see Titan, you know, they do get a chunk of their, you know, mid harpies there on both sides, but really that was the Cognitive Prime show right there. I mean, right in the middle. They just did stellar work in that regard. And also another thing to point out, they took a bite out of every single camp on the map, right? That just means like their presence was just something not to be ignored. Cognitive Prime, of course, you know, this is what we expected out of this world-class team, you know, here at the World Championships. But for Titan, I also hold them in that same regard. I can see Titan coming back. And while you may think we may have overanalyzed that, Zimstar, the reason why I feel like Titan is calm, cool, and collected now is, you know, we're here in the back and we saw Titan actually walk by. I could see them better than you guys can. I saw Titan walk by. They were fine. And they took a little longer, right? Cog Red came up to the stage. They were good. They took their time. That means that they were really breaking down. That tells me one thing, and that's it was a serious conversation going on about what they do in picks and bans. Because as we've said, and I'm going to echo the same sentiment, it's pretty much decided by picks and bans at this point.